One of New Zealand's most acclaimed young artists, Yu King Tan, has been living in Hong Kong for the past few years and continuing to thrive in her artistic endeavours. Barak caught up with her in Hong Kong recently.
Well, one thing I really love about art is that it's somehow quite meditative. You know, you separate yourself from the outside world. I think sometimes being in the studio is the only place you can have reflection, you can have contemplation, and I really get into, I guess it's like music, you get into the zone where you start to think about your work and you can concentrate and block out everything else.
Born in Australia and raised in Auckland, Yu King Tan is a well-exhibited artist in galleries around the world. She's an artist who uses many different mediums and has multiple approaches to her art.
Art working is hard, you know, it's hard work, and that's probably why I like working in so many different fields, because it's challenging. You can spend maybe 24 hours by yourself, alone, every day. Then it's nice to actually shoot a video and work with a film crew and work with editors and work, you know, by yourself on the computer again. So it's constantly about challenging myself about how much I can work with people, but also how much I can be by myself and think about ideas.
Currently, she's doing a commission for Hong Kong City University, an installation involving many others, breaking new boundaries in contemporary art.
And I'm asking all the faculty and all the students to donate items for the sculpture. I think in the end I'll have 800, 1,000 objects. I will dip them, as I've done previously before, in wax and make a giant chandelier in their space. It should be exciting because it's a community-based project in some way, because people are volunteering their objects. But then at the same time, I'm thinking about contemporary art and also what's the idea of giving and academia. But, I mean, contemporary art is quite Western, you know, it's a new form of art. So in that way I kind of think about the edge of culture, or the kind of breaking new boundaries in that area, which is, you know, more avant-garde. And then living in Hong Kong, I think I've started to really research and also investigate the other side of globalization, about this strange, fascinating country that we're in right now. Actually, this is a series that I did for a show 2 months ago in June, but I'm still working on it. Actually, it's called Helper, and all of these are Filipino domestic helpers who work in Hong Kong. So I'm actually doing a series of portraits. There's also a series of interviews with them, and at the end of this work there will be a video, and the video will be many of these domestic helpers from the Philippines, and they're collaborating with us, and basically they'll do something with a Hong Kong taxi, which probably will be slightly illegal. So it's going to be an interesting work.
Another installation she did recently was the sculpture of a lion made from cardboard.
It was laser cut, so I did a 3D scan and I got it laser cut out of cardboard. And then I did a video with that of an old woman who are called scavengers here. And she pushed it from one side of Hong Kong to the other side on a trolley. It was really interesting, really beautiful work. But, you know, it worked with video and it worked with different sculptural mediums. And in the end, the process meant that I had a large sculpture and a video showing.
Yu King has been in Hong Kong for the past 3 years. She moved there with her husband, Tobias Berger, who used to run the Art Space Gallery on Karangahape Road in Auckland. He is now running the Asia Arts North Gallery in Hong Kong.
And yeah, she's very successful at the moment. She has a lot of exhibitions in commercial galleries and independent spaces. I think Hong Kong was very good for her because she got a lot of inspiration from the market, from the architecture, from the closeness to Hong Kong, to China, to Macau, to Shenzhen, from the new Chinese art, and all these different things were very influential on her newer artworks. But in art nowadays, artists don't think about mediums anymore. They're not painters or video artists or photographers. They're just artists, and they use the most adequate medium to voice their opinions and to make their works. And Yu is very much one of these newer generations that just uses the most adequate medium.
Her next project in New Zealand is an exhibition at the Jonathan Smart Gallery in Christchurch, beginning August the 6th, in collaboration with Hirem To, who represented Hong Kong at the Venice Biennial recently.
We worked on the idea about people changing identities, and so it's called Shapeshifters, and it's my work's about infamous people, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
My work that I'll be doing under the idea of Shapeshifter is all about the fluidity of identity. It's about thinking ideas that are to do with who you are and who you think you are, and also ideas about how, I guess, new global politics, about being in different places, being one culture, two cultures, or three cultures, have influence the way we think.
Yu King Ten is also relishing being a first-time mother of 16-month-old baby boy Theodore, who was born in Hong Kong. But most days, you'll find her at the studio working on her next installation.